As the new president and CEO of the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation, I want to take the opportunity in this short video to share my vision alongside our long-term volunteer and staff leadership. We're taking the opportunity to reflect and celebrate the successful completion of the previous strategic plan, as the foundation is putting the finishing touches on our new strategic plan. I'm pleased to be sharing a few highlights of these celebrations with you along with our team. One of the most visible changes at the Community Foundation recently was the departure of Neil Hajra as CEO in fall of 2021. Under his tenure, the Community Foundation grew from $75 million in assets to $200 million, with half of that from gifts and innovative initiatives like the Community Scholarship Program launched and will only continue to increase impact. It was my pleasure to be selected as the new President and CEO of the Foundation in late 2021 by the Board of Trustees, and to join the successful, well-respected organization. As we grow together, I look forward to accelerating the impact that the Community Foundation can create in Washtenaw County in partnership with community.
Shannon, tell us a little bit about yourself. We want to give the community an opportunity to get to know you as we have these past few months.
Certainly. So it was great to come, in January and meet with everyone. I'm so excited because we now have purchased a home, so it'll be great for my husband, my daughter, who's in elementary school, and we've got a new puppy, so we'll all be together in Washtenaw County. That's great. One of the interesting things is that prior to coming here, I was the executive director of the Witness Foundation, which is focused on civil rights work and the development of Black leaders. And then prior to that, I had, years of philanthropic experience having worked for the C.S. Mott Foundation in Flint, as well as having worked with the Council of Michigan Foundations. One of the exciting things for me that I found out as I was interviewing for the role was that you and I have something in common, both being attorneys with a focus on estate planning. So that was really exciting. So having those experiences of equity, philanthropy, and estate planning have been very helpful in the role I have now.
So, as you've been getting to know the community, what is one thing that strikes you about Washtenaw County?
The thing that I heard about even before I got here, and definitely was verified once I moved to Washtenaw County, was that people love Washtenaw County. The residents here absolutely love it. And so, it's great because people love where they live, they love where they work, which is fantastic. So as a result, as a thanks to all of the generosity of the supporters and donors, we now have this home of permanent capital, which is great because we're able to be a trusted philanthropic resource and really help drive systems change here in the community.
Since March 2020, we provided more than $3 million in COVID relief and recovery grants to local nonprofits, along with several cash flow loans to support organizations prior to the PPP funding availability. By mobilizing flexible grant funding and cross-sector conversations in support of our community, the Foundation was able to respond to the emerging needs. Despite the deep strength and resiliency of all of our communities in Washtenaw County, ongoing health disparities are reflected locally, including a disproportionate impact of the coronavirus on communities of color. We are using local data to make well-informed decisions to maximize the impact of our grants. We're also listening to our community networks and volunteers to identify immediate and direct community-driven solutions, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic.
So what are some of the exciting opportunities that you see in our community as we look to the future together?
Well, one of the things I'm most excited about is our work with the Council of Michigan Foundations and the Statewide Equity Fund, which you are helping champion that work here. What's really exciting is this thought of how we can partner both philanthropy and municipalities to think about how we can best use federal dollars that are coming down. So this work focuses on what we will do with the second tranche of the American Rescue Plan dollars. And what's been really great about it is that we've been able to convene people that normally aren't part of those conversations from underrepresented communities that normally don't have a voice, and we're working together to lift up those voices so that they can better understand and advocate for themselves about how those dollars can be used in their communities.
The growth over the last 5 or 6 years has been incredibly rapid, and that's in large part due to a very generous donations from the community. And that in turn comes from building relationships with donors, building relationships with other funders, and just staying true to our values. And all of this growth is in service of community impact, and impact in turn drives growth. And one of the really cool things from my point of view is not just seeing the growth of our portfolio, but seeing all the good things that can do in our community. And last year, in fact, we set a record with over $9 million in grants and scholarship awards going out into the community.
You know, that's one of the things that I was most excited about in coming to work at the foundation, was being able to really advance the work around impact investing, because by being able to take that portion of our assets and redistribute it into the local community, you're able to impact some very critical issues like transportation, access to food, high quality education, and of course, as you are aware of here, you know, the impact that this has on local small businesses.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that we were thoughtful as we were going through the process at the foundation of setting up impact investing, and our vision statement really does speak to those types of things. It's an eye towards racial and economic equity. We want all of our neighborhoods and all of our communities to have access to our community's collective generational wealth. Everybody deserves that human dignity. Everybody deserves that opportunity for generational wealth.
I know that you also have the opportunity to work alongside of our trustees. Can you speak a little bit about what it's been like to work with the volunteer leadership at the Community Foundation?
So we have 17 trustees, and we have a significant number of former trustees who have been working with us for nearly 60 years. Now, with all of those volunteers, they literally form the foundation for our community foundation. And I'm very excited as we move forward to engage with new volunteers who bring such fresh ideas and varied perspectives to our foundation and help us to move forward in our community and our strategic plan.